A land of freedom and promise, said by Ben Flores, an illegal immigrant who truly believed in those words. The issue of immigration is losing its humanity from my perspective. These are human beings that have families and have made many contributions to the United States. Immigrants have been coming into California, especially over the last 30 years, because in the 1980s, California had a good economic stance, while other parts of America did not for several reasons. In current time today in the political world, immigration is a very hot topic right now, and is attracting a lot of opinions, news media, professional commentaries, and writers. But I am simply a 12-year-old boy who has a story to tell that involves the triumph and tragedy of one immigrated family and what they did to contribute to the United States. A small part of history and the vast contents of immigration. Jose Maria Patino and his wife Manuela Patino were owners of a grocery store in Jalisco, Mexico during the early 1900s. They had 3 children. The oldest child was named Maria, who was followed by her brother named Manuel, and the youngest child was named Teresa. They were a middle-class family, and life was good for them until troubles followed. In 1910, the Mexican Revolutionary War broke out, and Manuela and Jose Patino lost their grocery store, and with it, a middle-class lifestyle. Soon after the grocery store died, Jose died, and Manuela had to care for her children alone by working as a domestic. But soon she died of skin cancer, and with the end of Manuela, the 3 children had to go to an orphanage. Maria was 13, and Manuel was 9, and Teresa was 7. But as the Mexican Revolutionary War still raged on with Pancho Villa, a soldier named Ben Flores defected from the war to be with Maria, who left the orphanage at 16. Ben then said to Maria that he wanted to go to America to start fresh, and I quote him from saying this, "A land of freedom and promise." They migrated into the state of Arizona looking for work as they slept on street curbs at night until they met a wealthy woman attorney named Mabel Willebrandt, who in the 1920s was the first woman attorney with the title of Assistant Attorney General of the United States. Once Ben and Maria met her, she took them to her ranch in Coachella Valley in California and hired Maria to be a domestic and Ben to be a ranch laborer. And since Mabel was familiar with law, she was able to sponsor Ben and Maria and make them legal immigrants. Later in her life, Maria would say, "The woman who flew the planes would come by." It was none other than Amelia Earhart, who was a pioneer woman of aviators and good friends with Mabel. In Mexico, Manuel left the orphanage at age 17 and looked for work until he became a police officer. He discovered that music was his passion, though, and not being a police officer, he became a trumpet player in a local band. And while traveling with his band, he met Mercedes Salgado, whom he married and started a family with. Back in America, Ben Flores died, and leaving Maria alone in America, and with Ben's death, Maria asked if Mabel could sponsor her family in Mexico.